What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here to talk Love is Blind Season 5, Episode 7. Eh, it was spoiled for me. So thank you to Tambule. You've been rocking with me for a while, but you absolutely spoiled this episode in the comments for Episode 5, so you were blocked. Stop posting spoilers, y'all. My God. I'm blocking people left and right. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. If you cannot leave a spoiler, feel free to comment. Thumbs up the video. Everybody else, hey y'all, welcome back. Let's talk about this episode. So, first things first, in the scene that I already knew was going to happen because it was spoiled, we have Aaliyah and Uche. So, ending with episode 6, when they meet up, Aaliyah is talking to him and she's letting him know that she still wants him, she wants to be with him, etc., etc. So he tells her that he felt broken when she left because they were supposedly on the same page. They were planning their future and he thought they were moving in the right direction. So she said that she never communicated any, or he said that she never communicated any doubt. And she said, yeah, but she got a lot more information about them from Lydia than she did from him without her even asking for it. So Aaliyah had a lot of nervous laughter all throughout this, which was kind of cringy, but I think it was just her um being nervous and just kind of uncomfortable with the whole situation. So she said that she didn't feel comfortable being honest with him because of how he reacted to her admitting that she cheated in the past. And that's something that I honestly forgot about, but that's kind of pivotal, right? So remember, Uche told her to be honest about her cheating, her cheaterization in the past. When she was, he grilled her and kind of dragged her for it, right? I think that did cause a bit of a rift. So now when this whole situation with Lydia, I understand Aaliyah not feeling like she could be completely vulnerable and tell him everything she was feeling about that. Why? A couple of reasons. One, because of the cheating situation, how he handled that, and two, when she did bring up the situation about Lydia, he kept telling her she was overreacting. She's letting someone else come between them. A lot of that had to do with his reaction, and that's something that Uche has to really work on. It has to work on. I don't think he's a terrible man whatsoever, but I do think that he is just a man that does not know how to come out of lawyer mode. And when he's in lawyer mode, he is consistently badgering people, in the way that he talks to these people just doesn't come off in a very humanistic type of way, right? So he tells her that he had a complete 180 and we fixed that. No, you had a complete 180, but it wasn't resolved. It might have been resolved for you, Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang, but it wasn't for Aaliyah. That's just how it works out. So he tells her that he was conflicted about talking to her about Lydia. So he said that for some reason he felt like he needed to protect Lydia's feelings and all that type of stuff, which is crazy because she was not doing the same thing for you. But he also said that he didn't want to do too much with the Lydia situation because he didn't want Aaliyah to think that he was one of those guys that sat around and talked about his girlfriends. Which, when you put it that way, that makes sense, right? So he don't want to talk about all the crazy that she's done. However, he said that a few weeks after dating Lydia, she started to do things that would invade his privacy. So eventually turned stalker, and then apologized. So she was calling, texting. He had finally talked to her. She apologized. He decided to start dating her again. Character flaw. You're supposed to be a lawyer. If you can't read the crazy in folks, how are you representing people? Nonetheless, so they started dating again. He started getting messages from people saying, hey, do you know this girl? She's been watching all my stories. I'm going to stop right there. One, I am not somebody that frequently checks my story history. Okay. But I am also not somebody that is going to go through and be like, I don't know who that person is, and then decide to, like, I don't know, y'all. Something about that don't sound right. Do I think that Lydia was probably checking these women's stories? Yeah, I do. But I think a lot of this is Uche telling these women, check your story, see if this woman has been liking it. I don't think that these women were just watching or looking at their Instagram stories, seeing who watched it, and then randomly being like, let me ask Uche of all the people that I follow. Uche, in my opinion, let me get in the camera. My opinion, Uche was going out and reaching out to people saying, hey, has this person ever watched your stories? And that's based on her stalkerish ways before. He also said that there was one day she drove by his house, took a picture of his driveway, and was like, I see you. What we not gonna do is ever play with my safety. Don't do that. Don't do that, Lydia. Don't do that, sweetheart. The whole I see you the whole I see you type thing. Oh Lord, Lydia's spirit trying to get me. The whole picture type thing is kind of only cute. I feel like if I like see you at a store and I kind of take a picture, but no, I feel like it's never. Scratch that. It's never okay to do. So after the picture, he stopped talking to her again. They then started talking because, again, 3 times. They then started talking again because she was going through a rough time, lost some people. He thought she needed a friend. They started talking again. Uche doesn't make good decisions. Not Lydia, Aaliyah, honestly, his red flag is just bouncing off your forehead right now. Take the gift, sis. So he started talking to her again. And then they eventually broke up once again. And I got sick of hearing the story, to be honest. I don't care anymore. You like that crazy heifer. She liked you. Y'all probably need to get back together. Aaliyah said that Lydia apparently told some of the girls in the pod that she knew someone from her past would be there, or she had a feeling because she found out and she kind of set this up. Aaliyah said that she thought that maybe they had planned it. And she said if y'all was going to do that, y'all could have went on the ultimatum. I said, what? So Uche starts like being very condescending. Why would we do that? Does that make sense to you? You doing all of this, meanwhile knowing in the back of your mind that context clues everything that happens, you are starting to yourself feel that Lydia set this up. So why are you coming so hard on Aaliyah about this? That's what I don't get. Don't start talking to me like I'm stupid or like I'm just making this up just, smooth out of the blue, when in the back of your mind you can tell that Uche is like, damn, this does look that way. Stop it. Stop it. You went and got your hair cut but didn't get them sides taken in. Who did your hair? Who's your barber? Attention all Houston barbers. Please help this man. So Aaliyah wants to try the relationship. He said, look, he has his doubts. He feels that she is separating the relationship from the experiment. She was like, absolutely. He doesn't like that. He said, because that's a part of the journey. This is giving cop out. You don't want to be with her anymore. He then goes on to say that Aaliyah, very disappointed, sis, but Aaliyah was following and unfollowing him on Instagram, sending him voice messages and then unsending them and then blocking him. Everybody go their separate way. Okay? Uche ultimately feels that Lydia was not the problem. He feels that Aaliyah did not have confidence in him and it is over between the two of them. And I agree. She didn't trust that you were going to really have her back. But a lot of that came in, and when you kind of broke her trust, broke her confidence a little bit when she told you about cheating in her past and how you reacted to that. So y'all can go on y'all separate ways. I don't want to see Uche I don't want to see Uche Wally no more on the screen, but he comes back. So we then have Stacy and Izzy. So we're going to see Izzy's apartment. It's nice. He said it's like a Home Goods threw up in there. She called some of his little wall art girly. You ain't have to do that. He made his house a home. Okay. So he has a lost and found for his dates because he doesn't have a nightstand. And she was like, that's typically where you put jewelry and stuff like that. He was like, I have a lost and found. And he pulls out this drawer that has random earrings and rings and bobby pins and stuff like that in it. She thinks it's immature that he does not have actual dishes and flatware, and I do as well. 29 years old is well old enough to have proper dishes. I had my first apartment when I was, 22? Yes, I was 22 when I had my first apartment. Was it 23? No, I was in my early 20s. You know what I did have? Plates and dishes and flatware. The way he had, and I'm not saying that I don't have plastic cups in there right now, right? Everybody has plastic cups or styrofoam cups or whatever the case. But the fact that you were using plastic silverware, sir, why? Sir, why? 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 You can go to the local Walmart and get a set that comes with knives. Like, it's not expensive. You paid all that money to get your teeth whitened. That's not a natural white. That is teeth whitening. You paid all that money to get your teeth whitened. Take a portion of that money and go and it is immature. So she wants to know why he isn't throwing away the things that were in the lost and found. And he said it's because he wanted her to see his life before him. And she said, well, I had things from my past too, pictures and stuff like that, but we're engaged now. So before you saw my house, I didn't want you to see that type of stuff. So I threw that type of stuff away. She was like, so what is the point? Did you want me to see that you were a fuck boy before? And honestly, I think that's what it was. Low key, I think that this was his way of saying, I can get girls, right? Look at all the women that I've had coming up and through here before. There is no other plausible way for you to have it. It's one thing to have it. It's another to tell her this is the lost and found drawer. Look at all the things that all these women have left here. I don't remember their names. It's been so many. That's what he was giving. So she's getting irritated by it. The conversation went nowhere because she's asking him, like, why didn't you throw it away? Well, I wanted you to see me, my life. But why didn't you throw that away? What's the point? I don't know. Do you think it's sentimental to me? Well, yes. Why do you still have it? I wanted you to see my life. Like, come on, Izzy. What's wrong? What's wrong? Talk to me, baby. What's going on here? Because this is not making sense. This is not making sense. You know what? I would deal with your Target $5 holla plastics, plates and stuff that you had, okay, fine. If we want, I guess, to deal with the fact that you are using, great value cutlery and stuff like that, I guess. But eventually, all these different things, they add up, sir. They add up. They add up. It's giving a red flag. Hell, Milton's ass is 24. He had a nice put together apartment, cowskin rug and all. Sheesh. So she's Stacy's upset, and she says she's now questioning if he's ready for commitment at all and compromise. He calls her materialistic, and what you would never ever ever do is think that somebody wanted to eat off of a real plate and not a plastic plate and not a styrofoam plate or not a paper plate. Somebody that at Stacy's age, in her 30s, wants to use a real utensil. You would never call that being materialistic. It's called being an adult. Welcome to adulthood. They're talking. He keeps telling her stop cutting him off. He does talk a lot. He does talk a lot. She's frustrated. She walks out on the patio. She's crying, wants to go home. I was with her. Go home, sis, where you can eat your food, eat your pasta off a real plate. And again, it's not to say I don't have paper plates, I don't have that type of stuff, but I also have real plates in my house. Everybody has plastic, paper plates and plastic cups for sure. But we also, as adults, have real dinnerware. We have real flatware. I have never bought a box of plastic forks and spoons and knives unless I am going to a barbecue. Nonetheless, he tells her he's going to fight for her and he's not going, he's going to be there and all that other type of stuff. He sees that bag and he don't want that bag to leave. Y'all saying that Izzy got money. Izzy don't have no money. There is money in insurance sales, but not within your first year. I know, I work for an insurance company. You are not bringing in bank right away when you've been working on that job for a week. I don't care what y'all say, how you try to spin it. Next up, we have Milton and Lydia. So they're meeting Lydia's parents. Well, her mom and her brother. I love her brother. Her brother was very much, this how it is. This how it is, how it's going to be. So Milton wants 3 kids, 2 bio and 1 adopted. Lydia apparently agreed with that. She said that the kids are only going to speak Spanish at home. Her brother said, y'all discussed that or you said it? She was like, I said it. Milton said that they always find a compromise and that's why he likes her, but her brother said that she's very demanding. Lydia feels that Milton always has her back. Her family, at the end of the day, her family likes him. We didn't see anything like red flaggish or major with her family. They like him, so he seems comfortable. He got his hair cut. He done cut in his, what's it called, his Cupid's bow. Wasn't a good idea. Izzy and Stacy go to Stacy's family. Stacy has money. Stacy's family has money. Stacy pointed out in the last episode, they weren't always comfortable where they were. Her father worked to get everything they have, but Stacy's family has money. They kind of clown, well, not clown, but they point out how he just got a passport probably for this show. She then said he hasn't been in New York. He hasn't been anywhere. Girl, I ain't been in New York. That don't mean I ain't been anywhere. I got a passport, but yeah. So you can just tell he feels inferior to them, and it's not anything, in my opinion, it's not anything that Stacy is doing or Stacy's family is doing. I think it's more just Izzy's comfortability within his own skin. So he said that this is what gets me. He's never been financially able to travel. Her sister points out that traveling is big for Stacy. So how is this going to really, really work? So he then says that he now, how did he phrase it? Because I didn't write it down. He now says that now, he said he got a new job because now he wants to start to take the time off and do some traveling. You said you couldn't afford to travel before. Traveling is expensive. Traveling is expensive. It's an investment, I believe. It's an investment into an experience, but it can be pricey. So for you to say you can't afford to travel on one hand, but then turn around and say, but I got this new job, now I'm about to be able to start taking off to traveling, it's not adding up. He then goes on to say that he was working in business sales. His buddy told him to come on and work with him in insurance sales because there is money in it, and it is. There is. It's a very lucrative profession. It's commission-based, but it's lucrative. So he went to work with his buddy, took a vacation to Colorado for a week, went to work for a couple days, took off the 2 weeks to come here. Where are the priorities? But hey, y'all like Izzy, so okay. She brings up him not having flatware. I feel there's no excuse to not have flatware at his age. He goes outside to talk to her father. Because they had the conversation about having their first fight. And he was like, that was one of the best days that we've had together. And she said, not for me, sir. not for me. He feels that it showed, their tenacity, that they're willing to work through things. I feel like y'all having a fight over you not having utensils is not a good first fight to have, personally. Talks to her father. Her father said, look, Stacy, has things. She has this house. This house is going to take maintenance. She likes to travel. She is accustomed to certain things. Her father asks Izzy, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? He said, financially, sky is the limit. Okay. Her father said, yeah, we're talking about the HVAC and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, she needs me to have 20,000 able to help with that. He was like, yeah, with that house. Cause she must have bought a fixer upper. Her father said, look, the responsibility is yours. If you can't handle it, it falls on me. And it's really on some, don't make me have to come in and save the day for my baby girl because you're not financially there to do it. That's what that conversation gave me. I saw nothing wrong with what her father said. That was a real deal conversation. Also, I want to point out something. I glanced at my comments for the last video. I don't know what part of the Tootsie Roll is stuffed in some of y'all's ear, but at no point in that video did I say I do not pay when I am out and that I do not pay for my own food. I said we will never split a check. Either I will pay or he will pay. But I said we are not going to both put down a credit card until the waiter to split it 50-50. I need y'all to start listening. Some of y'all say some of the wildest things and really think y'all be eating in the comments. And it really gives, I got Tootsie Roll in my ear, Charleston Chew. However you want to put it, fudge, caramel. You got something in there. Turn on the subtitles if you have to, sweethearts. But that is not what I said. Absolutely not what I said. So we get to the group party. We find out that Stacy found out that Johnny went around talking shit about her to everyone. Stacy said that she, felt bad when she found out that, her and Johnny were going after the same guy. She, like I said, Stacy seems like a girl's girl. So she felt bad, but now the fact that she found out that Johnny was going around talking shit about her, which she was like, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. I was on Stacey's side with that. So then Johnny Longface shows up and we find out her and Chris are together. So they met at the airport and they've been together ever since. He's met her family. Her mom feels that he is the best guy that she has ever dated. I have nothing further to add. So Izzy and Johnny go over to the side and have a conversation. I feel like Izzy is doing too much talking to people. I do. I just feel like Izzy's doing too much talking. But Izzy tells her that he's glad that he made the decision he made because I heard you sketchy as fuck. I said, ooh, Izzy. It's a little messy. It's a little mitchy of you. And she was like, what? Excuse me? So he told her that, you were telling me and Chris basically the same thing, but reversing it. And she was like, no, I told Chris that with you, I was repeating a pattern, which is true. And but I told you were my number one. That was also true. Izzy was like, no, you had two number ones. So what it comes down to is it seems more like Izzy felt the way that he was not her sole number one the way he was for Stacy, and that's why he didn't like her. But I told y'all that Izzy seems like a type that wants you to be all in, hyper focused on him. And if you're not, then it's almost like he gets, a little beige rage going on there. So while they're talking, Izzy is like, you know what? I just want to give you some advice. She was like, I don't want advice from you. I don't want advice from you. I said, girl, take it. Just take it. Just hear him out. Hear him out. He tells her that, you know what? Everybody here thinks you're sketchy. Johnny was like, I'm not sketchy. I am the nicest guy here in the world. And I said, look at this. Look at this shit here. Look at this here. You only get that visceral of a reaction to something if there's truth behind it. Izzy called you sketchy. If you ain't been moving sketchy, if you ain't been moving fugazi, you wouldn't react the way that you are. You know how you were acting up in there. You know that you've been doing the most with the least. And that's why you're reacting this way, sis. Skedaddle your ass on back on over and have a seat next to Chris because he's the only person there that really likes you. Okay? That's it. Johnny goes back, tells Chris, Izzy basically called me a piece of shit and did. You are. You are. It's giving trash back, but hey, your feelings, you are valid in your feelings to be hurt. So Chris was like, no one thinks that but him. That's not true, Chris. That's not true. Johnny lies. At least I think she lies. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Johnny lies and said that Izzy told her that both he and Chris decided she was a shitty person. That's a lie. That's a lie. Now, what I feel like this season isn't giving, this reunion is going to crack. Okay? Let's get to it. Izzy goes and he's all hot and bothered talking to Stacy, beige rage. Izzy has an anger issue. Izzy has anger issues. I'm sorry, that's what I'm seeing. So he's like, he's annoyed, and she was like, why? What did she say? And he was like, just that, she wasn't sketchy. I was with Stacy. What are you mad about then? Did she say something about me? Did she say something about you? And then we get to the end that was once again spoiled. So thank you, user. I can't remember your name, but you were blocked as well. So Uche and Lydia are sitting down. He comes in, pulls her to the side, asks if she can go talk. She don't want to, would damage your arm. They go over to the side to talk, and he asks her he said he wants to have a conversation with no lies, honesty, whatever. Immediately, she was like, I'm not a liar. He didn't call you one. He didn't call you a liar in that moment. He tells her that when they were together, he liked the fact that she wanted and needed him. That was what attracted him to her. He would tell her his favorite color. She would wear that dress. He would wear that color dress. He would tell her his favorite drink, and she would go out and, have a bottle sent over to him. But he wants to talk about their past. He says that she was going through his things. She said, no, I just opened a drawer. That's going through his things. That's going through his things. Did you have a reason to open the drawer? Okay. She's offended. She gets up and walks away. The very chaotic nature, the chaotic energy, the anger that was oozing and jumping out of Lydia lets me know whatever he said she did that shit. Whatever he said she did. Milton comes back and Miriam, girl, they let Miriam come back, y'all. Miriam was there and tells Milton, your lady is arguing with Uche Wally Wally. So Milton is like, what? Milton goes in like he was about to get real about it and sits down. And Uche was like, hey, Milton, if we can just talk real quick, then I'm going to talk to you. Milton said, well, we have plans in 10 minutes. No, you don't. Y'all plans was to be here with everybody else. Y'all ain't got no plans in 10 minutes. And it tried to work, but then Lydia sunned him and was like, just let us talk. Milton said, fuck it. Goodbye. That goodbye took me out. I don't know why, but the way Milton said goodbye took me out, y'all. So Lydia is talking to Uche again. Uche tells Lydia about the people that are saying that he was that she was watching their story. And again, y'all, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe, because no part of me again ever looks at who's watching my story and then thinks, I wonder who on my friends list they know, and I'm asking people, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Something about that doesn't make sense. I wholeheartedly believe that Uche was asking people, has this person been watching your story? Send me the screenshot. That's what I think that was, but okay. So she said, I don't know how the algorithm is. Girl. So you were watching the stories, but you can't blame the algorithm. So Lydia's in her interview saying, well, Uche doesn't want the truth. He slept with someone else while he was dating me. If that is the case and he cheated on you, why did you want to get back with him? You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right in the milk. So Lydia's spazzing because she got caught on camera with him calling out all the crazy shit she's been doing. So she, gave a very drunken walk tease and goes outside. Where's Milton? Where's Milton? Milton was over to the side like, huh? Sup, boss? Lydia goes in. She leaning dramatically on the elevator. Uche comes over, tells Milton, look, she set this up so that we could be here together. I just want you to know she's not over me. I said, what a turn of events. What a turn of events. And that was pretty much it for the episode, y'all. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video. And I will catch you guys next week for, I think, another 2 episodes come out on Friday. Peace.